There we go. My sound. Hello, everybody.
There we go. Do me a favor
Hello,
too. Could
everyone.
you can you re-exit and exit and enter back into
Yes. Yeah.
you're
Give
kind
me a
of breaking
sec.
up? While you do that, I'll go ahead and take this. A severe warning is in effect now for Bay County in the Tri-Cities area. It's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind as well as potential for a brief tornado. The reason being is we likely freeze bound and is causing it to rotate very high on that. Talking about the behind the rotation, kind of guessing and wondering if they're going to actually issue um, warning on this. They decided. Aside from that, I'm kind of surprised, Joel.
Hey, Ryan.
What?
The audio's doing the thing. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to update real quick. So the National Weather Service has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for Bay County. This is actually heading due south, straight towards Bay City. There we go. Should be able to see it now, Ryan. Hopefully you aren't cutting in and out.
This is a test sentence. Please let me know if I'm cutting in and out still. Sounds okay or needs work. Let me know.
Sounds good for me. If you want to restart Discord on your end just to double check, but it should be good. Sounds good on my end. So, um, for those who might just be tuning in, may have missed our choppy voices. The National Weather Service in Detroit, Pontiac, we can finally read this off, hopefully, all said and done. Severe thunderstorm warning for Bay County until 8 p.m. Eastern at 7:18. A severe thunderstorm is located over Linwood or near Pinconning, moving south at 20 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and a tornado is possible. Expect this severe thunderstorm near Calcallan around 7:30 and Bay City around 7:35. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Crump, Bay City State Recreation Area. Alt text says remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go once into the basement of a small central room or sturdy structure, or in a sturdy structure. Again, those hazards are 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail less than 0.75 inches, and a possible tornado. Current trajectory puts us into the Tri-Cities later this evening. So if you are in the Tri-Cities, Auburn, Bay City, eventually down towards Milwaukee Bridge and Saginaw, the storm is heading your way. We have one kind of supercell that is riding right along the Saginaw Bay, and similar to what we saw on Saturday in Deckerville, the marine layer is playing a little bit of a factor into how the storm is interacting with its environment. So we do have to watch out for a quick spin up tornado as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds with this thunderstorm. If you look at velocity, you can see there's some reds and greens close to each other here directly on I-75, give or take, right near the Linwood Road exit. This will continue south straight down M13 and I-75 right into Calcallan in the next couple of minutes.
Other places include Linwood, Brissett Beach, Little Killarney Beach, Three Churches Corner, Beaver, North Williams, Auburn, Bay City proper. Also in the warning down here on looks like M15 near Munger. Those are the smaller areas. Polygon, 60-mile-per-hour winds.
You're cutting.
Tornado.
You're cutting out Ryan now. It was working and then it wasn't.
Let's try that again.
While Ryan is fixing the audio here, this is the only strong to severe storm in the state right now. A lot of rain, a lot of severe weather earlier this afternoon in southeast Michigan. That has since gone away. The flash flood warnings for Macomb and Wayne have expired. as the water is now receding. We do have one thunderstorm moving across portions of Kalamazoo County into St. Joseph County, also heading due south. And they'll head into the Colon and Sturgis area within the next hour. Not really any threat for that right now. It used to have a little bit of a gusty wind threat when it was up close to Caledonia and Middleville, winds of maybe 30 to 40, but not worth warning, as the winds there were not at severe limits, which severe limits is 60, and that is why we have this severe warning right now for Bay County in the near the thumb in the Tri-Cities region. On top of the fact that it is also a tornado possible with this storm. So, unlike earlier today, these storms are now moving pretty much due south. The cell in particular heading right down I-75 into Bay City.
Yes, severe warnings can contain the possible tag for a tornado. That's not uncommon at all.
Yep.
Basically, what that means is the storm has rotation, but it's not strong or tight enough to warrant a tornado warning.
This is also in a little bit of a radar gap, so it is tough to tell what is exactly ongoing in this neck of the woods, but there is at least some reds and greens on our velocity radar, which does indicate opposite moving winds inside of the storm. Right now, at least looking at our meso analysis behind the scenes, there is a little bit of enhanced vorticity in the region, kind of similar to what we did see this Saturday in the Saginaw, in the thumb region, but also extends over towards Saginaw and Midland. And that is coupled with a little bit of low-level instability out there, and that low-level instability really could get a sneaky spin up closer to the surface, which, because the radar beam at this height is very far away, it's between three different radar sites. So you have the one up in Gaylord, you have the one down in Grand Rapids, and you have the one over in Pontiac. And so all of those beams all meet really in the Tri-Cities region. It's really, really far away. And so if you are in Bay City or anywhere near Cauquelin and Linwood, please treat this as if maybe there might be a weak tornado on the ground. Either way, this is 60-mile-per-hour winds moving down south, down I-75 as mentioned into Bay City. And so you do want to be taking shelter in a basement preferably, or just away from any exterior walls in general, as 60-mile-per-hour winds can bring down just as many trees as a weak tornado would.
Kind of surprised, Joel, they have not included hail with this risk. Looking on the reflectivity there, very nice core on this. It's actually growing a bit stronger now. It's going to be basically just north of Linwood, moving right toward Cauquelin.
I have a gut feeling we might be pronouncing that wrong, but we'll see.
I'll check. How about that?
I'm waiting for one of the comments to pop in and say, yeah, it's a little different.
Nope, it's Cauquelin.
Okay, perfect. Just how it looks. It has not been a great evening to be doing a evening commute for sure. First the Metro Detroit region, and now up here in the Tri-Cities. Although it is 7:30, so most people are getting home from work or are already headed off to the night shift. If you're working third shift, respect. Still, if you are traveling I-75 tonight, and I believe it's M13 out of town to the north, Bay City and Auburn, you want to be on alert for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a possible tornado at the current time. And as Ryan mentioned, perhaps a little bit of hail mixing in as well, even though the warning text says less than penny size, which is underneath 0.75 inches in diameter.
I will say, too, the Detroit radar beam here has a 2,000-foot advantage over Gaylord.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to use here. It looks like the rotation's a little bit more distinguished on the Detroit radar as well. We can kind of pinpoint that right there where those reds and greens are coming together. I'm using my GR2 behind the scenes. Okay. Sorry.
There you go.
If you were to zoom in there, right over the highway, that's where I'm kind of seeing the most rotation currently. Just east of the highway, to be exact, east of 75 near the town of It'd be actually near Three Churches Corner. I'm assuming that's like a little bit of a reference there, like a township perhaps. Basically just to the east of Beaver.
There's a tiny little town here that doesn't show up on my radar. I'm trying to see if it shows up on yours. A little bit north. You're so far zoomed in. Oh, it is Linwood. Never mind. That's what I thought.
So Bay City, you're probably getting this first couple sprinkles from this storm as it pushes to the south here. So Essexville, Coquitlam, Auburn, and Bay City along US 10 and M25 here, M13, M15 as well. This is going to be moving in your direction very soon. Nice hail core on this as well. I'm going to switch this back over here to the Detroit radar. We unfortunately don't have any chasers up here or cameras to my knowledge. So as always, if you guys are a business and watching this from the Tri-City area, you want to sponsor a weather camera for us to utilize during these situations, reach out to me via email. You can message the page as well. The email to use is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. Also, they trimmed that warning. It still continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a possible tornado. Bay City is getting hammered right now, says Heidi here in chat. What do you mean by hammered? Be more specific if you can, please. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what Bay County's criteria for sounding sirens is. Some counties will sound it for a possible tag on it. Others will just sound for a warning. I'm not sure what Bay County's criteria is, so. If you are hearing sirens, it is because there is a severe warning with a tag for a possible tornado on it. The area of interest, if anything is tornadic, will be back over here by Beaver, over essentially I-75. Do you have any MDOT cameras there by chance?
Probably.
Find out.
It's been a while since we pulled up the MDOT cams.
We actually have a couple MDOT cams. I have a view on this. Of course, not available.
Throwback to winter a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to use those a lot this winter, but no cameras here that are going to get us close, unfortunately. So yeah, Tri-City area is definitely a big need for us for additional cameras in the future. Bay City, you're probably about a couple minutes here from being impacted by the rain. I see somebody in chat said it was getting hammered. I assume perhaps outflow winds from this storm.
Oh yeah, dude, there's tons of outages coming in right now. I just checked this consumer's map. There's a lot of outages coming in from the storm. Okay. Widespread.
So we're likely getting outflow winds from the storm pushing out ahead of the rain. And yeah, holy cow.
That they anywhere really from just lit up.
Roads 9 mile down to Linwood. Holy cow, outages galore. I'm going to post on that, Joel? Or I can.
I did just put out a post, but I can get another one.
I got it.
Okay. Or if you wanted to modify the one I just posted, feel free.
Nope, I got it.
Okay. Feel free to cross-post that as well.
I got you.
If you know anyone that is in the Tri-Cities region, not so much Midland, but more Auburn-based cities, call in. You also have Zmilwaukee mixing in, heading down towards Shields, Saginaw, and Freeland, including the NBS airport. This is, as we're looking at the consumer's energy outage map right now, widespread outages coming right down M13 into town, as well as along I-75. Those outages extend all the way out to basically the Midland County line almost. So take the entirety of this orange polygon as verbatim for 60-mile-per-hour winds, as we're seeing outages even outside of this box right now. So again, if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, a possible tornado may be mixing in as well. We're not 100% sure given the radar beam at the site is very far away, similar to what we saw with Deckerville on Saturday. But there are a lot of reds and greens mixing in at the current time on I-75 here in Bay County, heading towards Bay City. There is a warning in effect. Again, this is for Bay County. The only places in Bay County that are not in a warning are the places that are not inside this orange box. So if you're up in Pinconning and Bentley, you guys are not in that warning at the current time. This warning is only for central and southern portions of Bay County.
This is up.
Okay.
I'll be cross-posting momentarily. Yeah, outages continue to file in here in Bay County. Even parts of, it looks like
Midland.
Gladwin County as well.
Yeah, I was saying they extended all the way over to the Midland County line, which is, like I said, like outside of that warning box. So take that warning box seriously, for sure. If you know anyone in this region, feel free to share the stream or share this information via word of the mouth. We do appreciate any way we can keep all Michiganders alerted, eventually heading towards Saginaw County as well. So while Saginaw County is not in the warning right now, models did depict this cell lasting for at least a little bit of time tonight across the region. And so this could continue straight down 75 into Saginaw County, and perhaps if it continues towards Shiawassee and Genesee County as well, by probably closer to 9 o'clock. But again, as we get into the evening hours, we're going to start losing that instability out there from the daytime heating. So as we get closer to 9 o'clock, this storm will start to lose its intensity and it'll fall apart. But in the meantime, this storm is currently warned for those 60-mile-per-hour winds. The warning on your screen does say south at 20 miles per hour in effect until 8 p.m. If it continues, we will likely or probably see an extension of the warning into Saginaw County. Still a fairly strong storm at the current time with no signs of stopping. Cloud tops still sitting around 43,000 feet. So quite the tall storm. Go ahead.
I have to imagine as well, because it's so slow moving, Bay City and urban areas would experience some quick flooding and localized roads there as well. So also keep that in mind if you're out and about in the Bay City area on the roads. May come across some flooding here in the next half hour to hour because of the slow storm speed. In terms of rotation, though, I'm not really seeing too much here. I mean, there's a little bit there near west of Coquitlam, but there's nothing that pops out at me. But of course, radar beam here at this location is 6,000 feet. So it's not seeing below 6,000 feet here. That's the unfortunate part.
Yep.
Still, Bay City is about to get rained on here. It looks like the core of the storm is still off to the north and west here between Beaver and Coquitlam over I-75. Looks where the heaviest of rain is falling, but outflow winds are likely occurring out ahead of this. In fact, there is an outflow boundary now I believe I'm seeing on radar that is pushed about 3 to 5 miles out ahead of this. Velocity is a bit better showing up there, but I would not be shocked if this is actually pushing a little bit further out ahead of the storm. Rotation with this appears weak. And as of 7:40 p.m. here on this Monday evening, we have a couple other areas in the state that have some rain out down here in the Nottawa and Leonidas area. We have a couple showers going on there, not severe. Also up here near Alma, a light shower is occurring there. On the east side of the state, radar is clear, minus the one severe storm in Bay County. Going further north here to Gaylord's radar, that we're clear up here, and looking up here in the Marquette region. A late breeze boundary is there, but no storms have fired up here. Off to our west, though, I will say, friends and family, out west, there is likely going to be a wind bag, or a squall line, as we like to call it, that is just starting to take shape here. There have been numerous tornadoes out there, as well as damaging wind gusts. This is going to push into Iowa, Minnesota, in the eastern part of Nebraska as that line progresses, and that will not be impacting us tonight, but may provide us some rain for tomorrow morning if it holds together. Back over here to Michigan, Bay County remains in a severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a possible tornado tag on it. The warning remains in effect for 19 minutes. That puts us for an expiration time at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If the storm is weakened, hopefully it is by then. But if it doesn't weaken, we may see an extension of that warning further. As of right now, I believe this storm is still very healthy in nature.
Do appreciate everyone who is sending in photos from the Bay City region. There's a couple comments coming in on our latest post here, Ryan. Cloud bases are fairly high, so that's usually a good sign of a storm that's becoming a little bit weaker and a lot less surface based. So good news there. Bad news is you can also see on these same photos like rain boots kind of sticking out from the storm, which would be indicative of at least downburst winds of those 60 miles per hour, which is why we are likely seeing these power outages across the M13 corridor from the edge of Bay County, northern Bay County, down through Bay City.
Getting reports behind the scenes of damage near Linwood, tree damage. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did not.
Also report of brutal, quote, brutal winds. G-chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Animate this for you guys. It's moving to the south very slowly. It's also expanding outside the warning polygon as this, I assume the outflow winds here are pushing out, and that those winds that push out can act as a source of lift. So likely going to see perhaps additional areas and pockets of storms that fire in and around this region as the storm progresses to the south.
There's a new power outage singular that just popped in north of Midland as well, in the vicinity of where that cell is starting to pop out. So you would be right on the money with that, Brian. We have power outages actually starting to pop in now all across western Bay County too, from Willard down to Auburn. So yeah, that line of gusty winds is starting to expand out towards Midland a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I have to imagine we're not seeing that outflow boundary because the radar beam is way too high to see it. Usually those boundaries are more surface-based. So being 6,000 feet, we're not going to see that. But I promise you, there's likely, very likely, an outflow boundary that's pushing out from the storm, producing very strong winds, likely severe winds that are knocking power out ahead of the rain. So you're going to get wind before rain, and you're also going to have a chance for that outflow to spark additional showers and storms in the area. So if I kind of had to draw it there, I probably should redraw a little bit closer to the rain shield. It's probably somewhere like that. That's kind of a boundary that pushes out from the storm. It goes in all directions, and that's going to be your surge of wind.
Looks about right.
I am seeing a couple outages now popping in the north side of Bay City.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's just popping in here. Yeah, and as of the current time, statewide, we were at 20,000 people out of power about 2 hours ago, and I think we dropped to 15, and now we're back up to 19,000. And Bay County says there is 4,400 people out alone. Looks like the warning has been trimmed, Joel, and they also
removed.
Took the tag for a tornado off of it, so just 60-mile-per-hour winds now is your hazard.
That's good.
Very good news.
Yep.
Still, It's good news that we're not going to be looking at tornado. We're likely not a tornado now. But bad news is we know the storm is producing severe winds. So that is going to be ongoing here for likely a few more minutes at least. Yeah, another outage just popped in here. Crazy.
As a reminder for those who may be new here, we do repeat ourselves a lot when it comes to the severe weather coverage, but because we always have first-time viewers here, it is always important to reiterate that we do have a damage page for those who are on Facebook. It is called Michigan Weather Reports, and you can just search that in your search bar on Facebook. Make sure you request to join by answering those questions. And when you do submit your reports, make sure you do so with time, location, and measurement as needed for your damage reports. We would love to see them. And they would also help the National Weather Service offices as they also look at these reports. They document them, and they are able to issue more warnings downstream for other fellow Michiganders. So feel free to join that group, Michigan Weather Reports. Otherwise, just put any damage reports in our comments, and we'll see them as well, and they will also see those. Disclaimer on that, of course, make sure the photos are not in our live stream here, as they are not going to be seen by us. So make sure you post it in one of our other posts on our page instead of the live stream. So that M20 corridor is now where the strongest of the winds are likely at. Also gusting forward towards the getting closer to the M46 corridor, but still a little bit of ways. You probably, if you're along M46 in Saginaw, also have the 675 loop in Saginaw itself. You guys probably have another 5-ish minutes or less. Likely already over the MBS airport as well, just entering into northern Saginaw County. As Ryan mentioned, that outflow boundary that he was circling on the radar is a little bit out in front of the storm itself, and so you're going to get wind before the rain arrives. So while it may look on radar that the heaviest and most intense severe winds are, off to your north per se, like if you're in Milwaukee, for example, there's actually an outflow boundary that is displaced about a couple miles further south. So if you are in Milwaukee right now, you should be taking your preemptive measures to shelter inside, preferably in an interior room away from any walls with trees next to them, as those trees can come down and cause great bodily harm if you are not careful. Also over on our YouTube side of things, shout out to the Michigan Man for gifting 2 memberships to our YouTube subscribers. Appreciate you very much. And Brittany with a $2.99 super sticker. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate you guys.
As we mentioned, a lot of damage coming in from Pinconning and Linwood, close to the Bay City region right now. Pretty much a lot of northern and central Bay County north of Bay City has been hit very hard so far. And this storm actually goes back all the way up along the Saginaw Bay towards Aranac County and up even into Iosco County earlier. There were statements that we were posting on our page for winds of 40 and I believe up towards penny-sized and nickel-sized hail. There are scattered outages across these counties, but once this got into Bay County, it went severe warned, and rightfully so, as we are now seeing, what'd you say, 4,000 to 5,000 outages across Bay County alone?
Yeah, I'm gonna update that here and see if there's a new number. There is not. There was 4,421 to be exact via the poweroutage.us map. I will say over the past 5 minutes or so, I'm just watching the consumer's map on my screen here. It's just continued to light up with certain areas here. Scattered outages down to Bay City. I believe the concentrated areas are up by Pinconning and also by, it says 9 Mile and Rhodes as well as ST. I'm not sure those are townships or areas, but that's what happened, or that's what's being shown here on the consumer's map. Basically just to the west and east of 75 from Pinconning to Myers Beach and over to the west into Midland and Gladwin counties. I will say in Bay City itself, there are not many outages popping in. Do we know if Bay City has underground power?
That is a question for our viewers. If I was an electrician, I would know, but I'm not.
Let us know, because I'm kind of surprised that the outages just kind of stop at the city. There's a few isolated pockets within, like there's like one or two little blips. There's a couple areas just north, near the lake, north of downtown, but once you hit Wilder Road, they become very, very isolated in nature. It's above ground, interesting. So I wonder if this is a delay or the winds are just not as strong.
A couple comments saying consumers.
Either way.
A couple comments saying consumers doesn't serve Bay City. It could be some sort of city-wide, yeah.
Yeah, untracked. Bay City Electric, Light and Power. There's 20,000 customers there. I'm going to go to their website here and see. There's 20,000 customers that are not tracked on this map. So let's go ahead and hop over here and see if I can find an outage map for Bay City Power.
While you do that, Ryan, it looks like there's a little bit of anticyclonic rotation now that is moving directly into downtown Bay City. I will mention this because we discussed this behind the scenes a little bit earlier. The hodographs in this region are inducive for backwards rotating storms, ironically enough, where we have, instead of anticyclonic rotation, which happens a lot in the northern hemisphere, the atmosphere is laid out in a way tonight where the winds at certain levels are blowing in different directions, so much so that the rotation is actually clockwise now. And so what we're seeing right now in Bay City is anticyclonic rotation. Granted, the tornado possible tag has been dropped. This is just an observation of what we're seeing right now on velocity radar. So directly over Bay City, and as you mentioned, Ryan, 20,000 people without power there from Bay City Electric, I believe. Is that correct?
No, I didn't say that. There's 20,000 customers that they track.
20,000. Oh,
they're
okay.
not all on power.
Oh, yeah. So that's good, because that would mean the entire city's out.
No. The untracked providers, it says Bay City Electric and Light and Power is 20,343 customers. I cannot find an outage map for that, though. There's not on their website that I can find. So unfortunately, we're not going to get that data, to my knowledge. Sydney says still have power here in downtown Bay City. Thank you, Sydney, for that.
As a reminder, this was in the forecast for today. Ryan had the 7-day forecast. You posted them Saturday night and then Sunday morning, I believe. Is that correct?
Sunday morning. I will also say, Joel had a nice forecast this morning. He posted we had a limited risk for severe weather across central lower Michigan. That did include most areas that saw severe weather today. So even though there wasn't a marginal risk in place per the SPC, there's still enough there to kind of keep our eye and attention on things just in case some storms did want to go rogue, so to speak. And as is the case today, I think we had like 4 or 5 warnings, mostly for wind.
Mm-hmm.
The warning, though, for Bay County has been dropped and in favor of a special weather statement. They're saying wind gust up to 50 miles per hour is now the hazard. So they're saying the winds have now died to a point where they're not severe any longer. The storm, though, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't have my GR2 pulled up, but is it healthy? Updraft staying healthy or no?
Let's go look at ZDR. ZDR is fairly neutrally buoyant right now. A little bit of backwards development on the west edge, but overall just kind of a storm that's existing and not really going anywhere. We'll likely see this start to fizzle out more in the minutes to come. Especially at the eastern edge, looks like it's down. It's falling apart faster than the west edge, essentially.
Okay. So likely a storm that is going to be on its way out here. We'll probably stay live, I think, for a few minutes at least, just kind of keep an eye on things and track this, just in case it does re-intensify. But as of right now, as it moves over Bay City, the core of this is actually to the west of Bay City, between Midland and Bay City, over Auburn and Beaver areas. It's going to be moving very slowly to the south here, towards Saginaw and Swan Creek areas, right along M47. It'll be about the general path between 75 and M47 here, to the south towards Saginaw. So gusty winds is your primary hazard. 50-mile-per-hour winds definitely possible with this. Honestly, as we get closer to the radar here, you can kind of see the increase of velocity over Bay City direct. I'm not sure if that's any correlation or not. And, excuse me. Also, now you can clearly see the outflow boundary here that's out ahead of the storm. That is what was producing, or what is producing, very gusty winds here. So Saginaw, Swan Creek, and Zilwaukee just probably got impacted. Saginaw about to be impacted. Swan Creek along M46 here. These are likely winds 40 to 50-ish miles per hour, and you can clearly see the boundary out ahead of this storm, and that's what's causing those really gusty winds here. I have many messages here I got to go through, Joel.
Okay. Take my radar back. And there is that outflow boundary on my radar too, directly over Saginaw, bends back up towards Midland. Second cell also firing over Elma. Not strong or severe, just garden variety at the current time. Main concern is 50-mile-per-hour winds as they head straight down through Auburn, Freeland, Zilwaukee, Saginaw, Shields, and Hemlock in the minutes to come. This continues to move towards Saginaw, so if you are in downtown, outside enjoying a nice hot evening, it's about to get a lot cooler as that gust front kind of moves through, outflow boundary, and then the rain. So feel free to pack it up, move inside for the time being. Potential rainfall also occurring with this storm. You could see a little bit of flooding in low-lying areas, similar to what we saw earlier today. Not quite as intense as what we saw in southeast Michigan, as this storm is moving today in opposition to the storms that were not moving at all in southeast Michigan. Those were for Macomb County and Wayne County. Between about 2 and 4 this afternoon, it was quite the flood risk out there today for sure. On radar right now is your base reflectivity, and what it's showing is the intensity of the rain that's falling across the area. So this is the main rain radar, if I can stop tongue twistering here. Main rain radar that shows you the intensity. So from blues and greens is the lighter rain, yellows kind of that mid-range intensity, and the reds to the pinks is your very, very heavy droplets where you get your 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates sometimes. In cases of extremity, you also have 2 to 3 inches, which we saw earlier today in southeast Michigan. A lot of rain out there. The cell will continue to sustain itself until probably close to sunset, and then we'll see it fizzle apart fairly quickly. But if it continues on its current trajectory, it'll be heading south, maybe trying to bend a little bit back to the south-southwest on a direct collision course with Shiawassee County, maybe skirting just around Flint. Current time at the bottom of the screen is now 8:01. If you're watching within 30 seconds, you should be live with us. If not, feel free to refresh the stream. And as always, we are streaming live in HD. So if you've not hit the setting button on the device you're watching on, feel free to toggle it on to 1080p, 60 frames per second, so that we are not fuzzy, but rather high definition, and you can see the city names a little bit better on the radar. Looks like it's trying to drop a little bit of a core again, and indeed it is. There's a core up to 20,000 feet on the back side of the storm now, and it appears that it's about to let go of all of its rain and perhaps some hail in the vicinity of Wheeler Road and Carter Road. Let's actually check CC real quick. Oh yeah, a little bit of a hail core. Correlation coefficient is used for non-uniform objects tumbling around in the atmosphere. When the colors get cooler, the objects become more rugged in nature. So if it's a hot red or a purplish pink in this situation, that is uniform rain, rain droplets, snow droplets, whereas you have the yellows and the greens and sometimes the blues as rugged hail tumbling around. We see a little bit of a core about 2 to 3 miles to the northwest of Auburn, also about 2 to 3 miles outside of Midland, and continuing to move south at about 20 miles per hour, traveling right down Flahole Road, I believe is how you pronounce it, at Wilder Road. So just outside of Midland. Curious to see reports from our Bay City region and points south along Broadway. Base velocity shows some decent wind going on here, but we'll see. Again, as mentioned, we don't really have any access to public data for Bay City Electric, so we're kind of just playing the wait and see game from you guys here in chat. It's pronounced flageol, like my name. Nice. Okay, we'll go with that.
I'll be right back.
It's heading right down Fledgel Road. That's what we're talking about. For the hail core in between Midland and Auburn. Latest scan. Let's see what the correlation coefficient shows. Nice core still there. Looks like it is kind of fizzling out a little bit now. Looks like if I back it up a couple scans, it really peaked right in here at the intersection of Town Line and Carter Road. So as a reminder, this is correlation coefficient. So if you zoom out at the big picture of the storm, you can see how about 95% of the storm is this like pinkish reddish kind of violet color. That indicates that this is all circular objects such as rain in the sky. Where it changes over to more of an orange, yellow, green, that is where the droplets become more rugged and turn into hail. And so we see that as a little core near Auburn. We have a couple LSRs coming in, live storm reports. That's what LSR stands for. From Bay County, one here in Linwood saying numerous trees and power lines down in Linwood. And we have a Mesonet station at Killarney Beach in Bay County, just north of Bay City, measuring 66 miles per hour. So that was severe winds and then some on the north side of Bay City. So it does not surprise us that we saw a lot of power outages come in from North and Central Bay County. Current time there is, from the Consumer's Energy Outage Map, almost 10,000 people without power, with over half of those in Bay County alone. It's a big gust for sure. 66. It's no slouch. Killarney. Got it. Where's the... Wait. Killarney, maybe? I think you missed an R there. No, there was never a tornado warning. There was a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible previously. So that's the context here. Is the National Weather Service issues severe thunderstorm warnings for two main hazards. Damaging winds, 60 miles per hour is the criteria for severe warning for winds, and 1-inch hail diameter for hail. In addition to, when they issue these severe thunderstorm warnings, they'll sometimes put in the alternate text in the warning box itself that a tornado is possible. So you could treat it as a tornado warning, but it's not technically a tornado warning because it's a severe thunderstorm warning. When we show the boxes on the screen, there's a difference in color. So if we back it up here, you can see the orange box represents a severe thunderstorm warning. A red box, in our case, would be a tornado warning. So there was never a tornado warning, but there was a severe thunderstorm warning with the alternate text saying a tornado is possible. It's a little confusing, but it is the lingo that we use here as meteorologists across the state, and what the National Weather Service does as well when they believe that there is a storm that may be producing rotation, but it's not quite to tornadic limits yet. And so that's why they always put in a tornado is possible with the storm, if that is the case, which it did have. And as you can see, the orange box is no longer gone. For those who are new here and always miss the instructions or have missed the instructions, on the bottom bar is always the highest active alert in the state. So special weather statement is below a severe thunderstorm warning. So it'll always go in that order. It'll always go statement, watch, warning, up to emergency in some cases. But special weather statement is basically a step below a severe warning. So technically right now we are not in severe weather ops, but it says still a strong storm moving through Auburn, Freeland, and Saginaw at the current time with winds of 50 miles per hour. So good news for Bay City. No concerns for a tornado at the current time, but it is still gusty in the region. This velocity is very intriguing to me, Ryan. I believe this is downburst winds on velocity, but it is tough because it is right next to some reds. And given those shear profiles out there tonight, there could be a little bit of anticyclonic rotation going on, as mentioned here previously in the stream.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that too. I'm looking at the outage map as well, and we are up over 21,000 people now in the state without power.
Do see some damage reports being sent into our Michigan weather reports page from the Linwood area now, so thank you guys very much for doing that. Again, it is there for you guys to use. You can also send them in directly to us at Michigan Storm Chasers on our messenger, so either one works. We'll see them either way. And as always, mentioned your time and location when you are submitting those reports. Otherwise, we don't know where it's at. So save us the extra step. Also, Discord. We also have a Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers, if you don't have Facebook or Messenger to submit these damage reports on. Ryan, if you want to, I don't know if you were going to confirm this, but are we thinking about getting an email specifically for damage reports in the future?
I can't confirm yet, but it's been discussed. We're also looking at getting like direct email, like Joel mentioned, and also perhaps a form as well. So we're going to talk about that here, make it easier for you guys.
Okay. Perfect.
How many of you guys watching would use it if we were to send you have like a direct email for reports, or a like form to fill out?
Because we understand, for example, we have a large YouTube following, over 51,500 of you guys now. YouTube might be your only source of social media, which is understandable. So again, if you don't have Messenger or Facebook and you've never tried Discord, then it is understandable that it is really hard to send us damage reports. So again, that's what we currently have in place is Messenger, our Messenger, the Facebook community page called Michigan Weather Reports, and our Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. But again, for those who are strictly only YouTube, let us know. Technically speaking, I kind of forgot. I always forget about this. You could just tag us in the comments on any one of our social media pages. So like, well, Instagram really doesn't have a photo sharing place. I mean, unless you tag us in a photo, but Threads and X and TikTok if you have video, those are all social media accounts that we have an account on at MI Storm Chasers that you could also send in video or photos to. So if maybe those are the only platforms you use, feel free to do it that way as well. We'll see it one way or another. We have like 8 different social media platforms. So well, that's a good point. Do we have a form on our website or no? No?
Nope. I think it's time we get one though.
Good idea. If you want to check out our website, by the way, michiganstormchasers.com, feel free to do so. You can also learn about us here in staff. You can donate. A lot of different links there. Our staff page is just michiganstormchasers.com/staff. And I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzmo alongside the president of MSC, Ryan, right below me there. Been live for about 55 minutes tracking a strong thunderstorm, previously severe, which caused damage in Bay County. And the storm is now tracking through extreme eastern Midland and extreme northern Saginaw counties, with an outflow boundary ahead of it, producing some gusty winds, perhaps upwards of 50 miles per hour. If you guys missed our first stream or our posts on our page earlier today as well, it is our, I don't know if we want to call it a birthday or anniversary, but it is our 3-year anniversary of this page being around. We were founded in 2022 on this day. So it's only fitting we are live for severe weather not once, but twice today in the state of Michigan. So, as mentioned in the first stream as well, if you are a day one follower or this is your day one, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you for tuning in and trusting us as your number one source for all things weather in the state of Michigan for all 83 counties, 24/7, 365 days a year. This is current radar in Bay County, where there is a special weather statement in effect in that tan box for 50 mile per hour winds. This is base reflectivity radar. The hotter the colors, the more heavier the rain is falling. And we can see that specifically over Auburn and now moving into Freeland. It's already kind of moved through Bay City, but it is trying to redevelop on the backside, and also now moving in towards Saginaw. We also have we have about a dozen other different radar products we can use as well, but the main thing right now is base reflectivity, and also base velocity, which is the measurement of winds in the atmosphere. So when you switch it over to this Christmas colored radar, this is our winds moving towards the radar site and away. So towards would be in green, away would be in red. And this radar site that we're using right now is from Detroit, Pontiac, which is down off to the south of the radar site. So on the right side of the storm, the winds are moving kind of down the line to the south, moving from Bay City to Zilwaukee, while on that west side of the storm, the winds are kind of moving up the line, back off to the north. So we do kind of have to watch out where these reds and greens are sliding side by side to each other. And where they move side by side very, very close, and those colors are very, very bright, we can also see rotation. So in this case, we have a little tiny bit of elevated anticyclonic rotation tonight, as you see greens on the right and reds on the left. So that means, well, no, it would be cyclonic. No, it would be anticyclonic. I'm thinking clockwise versus counterclockwise. That's what I was thinking of. So it is clockwise rotation. In the northern hemisphere, we are more used to counterclockwise. But again, with the way the winds are moving in different levels of the atmosphere tonight, that is the case. We have anticyclonic movement going on in the lowest 3 to 4 kilometers of the atmosphere. But it's very broad, in my opinion, and the greens are not as bright. We want to see them a little bit changing over to blues if they were a little bit of a concern for rotation, similar to the reds changing to more of a hotter red into the yellow. So good news here, this is mainly just gusty winds of 50 with really no concerns for a tornado. As mentioned, this did have a severe thunderstorm warning for a tornado possible in 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is no longer the case if you're just tuning in and need an update. So good news there, but we are still continuing to watch 50-mile-per-hour winds move south across Saginaw County. Go ahead and loop it as well. This is the only storm really in the state. That cell that was in Kalamazoo County moving to St. Joseph County, the bottom of your screen there, has now dissipated to a tiny little rain shower. The cell in Elma is kind of split into two and is continuing south down 127. This will head towards St. John's over the next hour as long as it can stay together with the limited instability that is left out there from today's heat. Anything to report on the backside of things there, Ryan?
No, nothing new at this time.
Okay. And the good news is it looks like those 50-mile-per-hour winds are doing very light damage to the power infrastructures. There has not really been any outages yet in Saginaw County that I am seeing from the Consumers Energy Outage Map. I think a lot of these winds were rooted more service-based when they were north of Bay City. So good news there. Henceforth why this severe warning has been canceled and changed to a special weather statement. But don't let your guard down. The downbursts can happen at any time throughout this rest of this evening through about 9:30 tonight. So we got another hour where downbursts are possible in the right environment.
The storm is also collapsing on itself.
Go to ZDR.
Very quickly. Yeah, I'm looking at the past track of this. It's gone. It's down. You are probably okay to end this soon.
Yeah, there's a couple new cells starting to retrograde, filling back to the west. Looking at ZDR, again, this is another radar product that we use here at MSC. There's a whole unit on radars and what they all do. So the TLDR of ZDR, good rhyme there, this is basically measuring the buoyancy of the atmosphere, where the storms are basically going up and where they're going down and where they're staying neutrally buoyant. And in this case, the radar here is showing cooler colors being negatively buoyant and the hotter colors being positively buoyant. Whereas you get those middle ranges and the yellows, those storms are just kind of staying stagnant, kind of just floating along, as you would say, down to the south. So as you can see, a lot of these tiny little cells back off to the west have still little pockets of red on them, so they're still building updrafts. Whereas the storm has continued to slide a little bit off to the south-southwest. It would start all up in Iosco County, continues to backbuild a little bit off to the west as it slides south. And that is visible here on your ZDR radar, where there's a lot of blues and grays on the east side of this storm. So, good news for people that might be down towards Flint, Clio, Flushing, Montrose. These storms are now starting to slide away from Genesee County. Got gusts of 52 at MBS, Midland Airport there. So, not bad. It's below severe limits, but still gusty. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, the special weather statement is in effect until 9 p.m. It is the only statement in the state. All active alerts are always going to be scrolling down there in the bottom bar, unless we say otherwise. All the details as well. It does clip portions of Midland County. It's mainly just the eastern part. This is mainly a Saginaw County threat at the current time, as the storm is now leaving Bay County and Midland County. So Saginaw down heading towards St. Charles now too. Maybe going outside of this special weather statement box in the minutes to come.
We may have a sunset alert going out here soon.
Sweet. We actually did just get a couple new power outages in. These ones are coming in now in Saginaw County. We have one north of Hemlock. So kind of right in this area where this storm is rebuilding and re-intensifying on the western edge. So just southwest of Freeland, north of Hemlock, new outage there underneath that cell. And just to the south of Shields, it appears, there's a tiny little outage that popped up near the Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge. Between Shields and St. Charles, within this little cell here, that's right on that outflow boundary. So that appears to be where the gustiest of these winds are currently at. Maybe in multiple spots, but we've got outages within the storm and out in front of the storm as it stands.
Outside of this one area in Michigan, there's not much else going on across the state. West side is clear. Southeast corner of the state, besides Saginaw and Ithaca County. Wow, Gratiot County. Wow. Gratiot County and Saginaw County. We're pretty clear across the state in terms of radar coverage. Can't believe I said that. I should know better.
I don't remember if it was like in West Michigan or not, but I think once I said a city in West Michigan, I feel like it was like Grand Rapids County. I'm like, no, it's Kent County. It happens, we speak so fast, get as much information out in a low time as possible, and those words just get all mumbo jumboed. So it happens. It's okay.
The latest power outage map still has right around 19,000 people out of power.
We'll just rename each county to whatever the county seat is to make it easier.
So I live in Adrian County.
There you go. So, what would Wayne County be? Would that be Detroit?
Detroit County.
Detroit County. Ionia is Ionia, so that doesn't need a change. Grand Rapids Kent County would be Grand Rapids. Stanton County for Montcalm, I would imagine. I think. I don't know. If you guys are watching in chat, it's something you guys can let us know right now. What's your county seat? What would your county what would your county be if your county seat was what the county was named after? Yep, Flint County for Genesee. Yep.
Lapeer would be Lapeer.
Yep.
Take my screen when we have a little bit of downtime here.
Holy cow.
Looking at the camera network across the state here, I dare say we're going to have a sunset alert coming for portions of the state soon.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how it looks very, very much alike across most of those cams. Depending, of course, on which way the camera is facing. That does play a little bit of a factor.
Yep.
St. Johns County for Clinton County. Wow. Yeah, that's true. They have that really, really nice courthouse there in downtown St. John's. I've seen that. Pontiac County for Oakland. Interesting. Is that true? Is Zilwaukee the county seat or is Zilwaukee the county seat for Saginaw County? I feel like that doesn't sound about right. It's interesting. Caro County, Tuscola. You did not just say Ross Compton. Come on now.
Those cells are actually blossoming now out in Gratiot County.
Back building
Breckenridge area.
Back building to the west.
Indeed. We actually just, maybe not. I was going to say, have a camera go up there today, but it's further west. It's actually well west.
Montcalm County, and it's facing to the west, right?
Yeah, we had Crystal Lake go in yesterday. That was facing west. We had 2 today go in. I found the one. I'm about to pull up my map here just so I can mark it. I had this to a T earlier today and then I lost it.
It's like a couple little downbursts ongoing near Breckenridge M46 area, which are where those new cells are popping up.
That's what I thought.
Charlotte would be the county seat for Eaton, so Charlotte County down there. That makes sense. Do have a Skycam there, speaking to Charlotte, from the Charlotte Fire Department. There is our entire Skycam network, courtesy of Guardian. If you would like to become a camera sponsor, Ryan is your go-to guy here in stream. His email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. I believe there's also a form our mods can drop here in chat to fill out as well.
So, Joel.
Yes.
Our first, I can't say first, one of the latest cameras installed today in Six Lakes has a view of the ongoing storms to the east. This is one of the first east-facing cameras that we've had installed in the state. This is in Six Lakes, Michigan, courtesy of What's the Scoop? It's an ice cream shop there in Six Lakes. So shout out to them for sponsoring the camera. I have not had time to set this camera up, so no logo overlay for you guys just yet. If you're watching this, we'll get you next stream. But I just wanted to point that out. We have a view of the ongoing storms off to the east via Six Lakes on What's the Scoop's camera.
I used to drive past that place all the time on my way up to Mount Pleasant.
Yep, and for reference, this is in the northern part of Montcalm County. That's basically sitting right just north of Grand Rapids County.
Stop it.
Kent County. So it's about 20 to 30 miles off to the east yet, but it's got a view.
Yeah, Six Lakes isn't on GR2, but if I zoom in, if you guys look at my radar here, if you zoom in, it's between Lakeview and Edmore where M66 meets M46 right here.
Yep,
so if you look off to the east, those cells are over Elma and off to the east of that.
It's also the camera, our first camera with a view of Dollar General. So I want to point that out too.
Only in Michigan. Well, only in the Midwest.
Only Michigan.
Dollar General getting some free airtime here.
I thought it was cool when I saw that.
No. Yeah, so the intersection for M66 and M46 is right off to the right of the screen, kind of right over there. So it's pretty close to the intersection. So shout out to What's the Scoop becoming our newest camera sponsor there in Six Lakes, Michigan, Montcalm County. Reminder, there is Montcalm and there's Macomb, two different counties that sound the same. We've had this issue in the past. Just to clarify it again, Montcalm County is near Grand Rapids and Macomb County is near Detroit.
We'll have to keep an eye on things over here in Ithaca County, Gratiot County. As these storms progress to the south here, they've just blossomed, and they are intensifying. I'm just not sure how quick and how strong they're going to get. Be heading toward Wheeler, Merrill, eventually Ithaca, North Star, and Alma areas. It's going to ride very close to 127. We'll also mention, if you want to take my screen back real quick, we also had a second camera installed today. No view of the storms, but it's actually kind of close. It's in Stanwood, courtesy of Stanwood Market. They installed another east-facing camera for us. Unfortunately, the wires were in the way. We can't get rid of those, but still a very nice sky cam here. We have amazing views off to the east. I'm actually excited for these because we don't have any east-facing cameras. So sunrises, as well as the back end of storms as they pass over, will be very beneficial for us. So that was our other camera installed today. I have not announced those yet, but figured might as well go ahead and
sneak peek.
Yeah. So we'll post these probably tomorrow if there's no severe weather ongoing tomorrow. Today kind of turned into a day where nothing really was. I can't talk. Today kind of turned into a day where nothing was expected to really happen. To all of a sudden we're live for 4 hours, 5 hours today. It seems like.
Yeah.
So it's how it goes in the summertime.
All hail the level 1 out of 6 severe risk. Ends up verifying. Where did you say what was the business on Stanwood's?
Stanwood Market.
Got it.
This is facing northeast, to be exact.
There you go. comment in here that we have answered before. We'll answer it again. We are in the process of, for some of these cameras, not all of them because of privacy, but we are working on getting a 24/7 YouTube channel up for these cameras to run 24/7 for you guys. Right now they are only private so we can see them, but we do share any beautiful shots, any severe stuff that we see as needed for you guys here in the state of Michigan off these cams, and we are excited to get some of them 24/7 very, very soon here in the state of Michigan.
Yep, and that is something that Garjan and us have been working on for many weeks. Finding a solution for that is not easy, and we're still kind of running into some issues here. I've been going through some testing processes, and we're trying to perfect it before we launch it. So bear with us. You will need to follow a second channel, though. We're not going to stream all these to our Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube. This channel is dedicated to severe weather coverage. So you're going to have to follow another YouTube account just dedicated for these cameras. And I will also say, a little bit of a sneak peek, I've already talked to a few of the host locations, and I have Harbor Beach, I have Charlotte Fire Department, and I also have our Manistee Aurora cameras all set up for live streaming. So stay tuned. Those are the most popular ones we've had. And of course, one of the only ones we've had for a while. But those will be streaming 24/7 to you guys. I just don't know an exact date just yet. So
that Manistee camera will be awesome.
Mm-hmm. We're also fixed, or partially, mostly fixed, the blurry image at night as well. So we're gonna have a lot clearer images at night for you guys too. We have a lot more coming, a lot more locations coming here. There's a bit of a brief lull here. We're just trying to reset ourselves and kind of gather our notes and our feet because I'm not going to say specifics, but there's some coordination that goes into making this happen between host locations and scheduling and stuff like that. So slow process, but we have probably at least 20, 30 more cameras coming over the next few months. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, Janelle, that camera is actually one of the Aurora cameras, and it does face slightly to the north. So maybe, just maybe, you'll have a couple shots. We'll have to kind of see how light pollution is. So, and yeah, we're kind of hanging out right now. There's nothing severe in the state currently. When nothing is severe, we're just kind of chilling, get to interact with you guys a bit more.
I love the chilling. It means A, there's nothing bad happening, and B, we get to talk more on a personal basis, which is always fun. Talk about the most random stuff too. Such as county seats taking over the county naming. For those who missed it a couple minutes ago, that was one of our questions for y'all. I saw Rogers City County instead of Presque Isle.
Did somebody say Rogers City?
What about it?
We may or may not have a camera going in there soon.
Ooh, sneak peek. How could you say that, Nikita? Bay City got nothing?
What?
What? Storm hit Bay City
Bay
with like...
City has like 20,000 people. I can't say that. 5,000 people out of power all across Bay County, from Pinconning down into Linwood, and even just west of downtown Bay City. There's actually outages in Bay City that are being tracked here on consumers.
Yeah.
I can only imagine there's more that are not being shown. So
Right.
I don't know how you can say that.
Plus there was 66-mile-per-hour winds like 4 miles north of downtown, so
Crazy.
very interesting.
Kevin in chat here says we need a mobile cam that sets up at different carnivals around the state.
My
Oh,
gosh.
goodness gracious. Gracious. Well, I can say, Bay City, we need a camera in that general vicinity. Tri-Cities. That'd be beneficial for us. We're trying to put more cameras in areas in Michigan where we don't have as much radar coverage.
So
That's like the Thumb region,
yes.
Tri-Cities, up by Leland, the western part of the UP, the eastern part of the UP.
You take Aranac and
typical
Iosco.
radar gaps. Yeah, up there too.
They've been hit pretty hard over the last couple days. Oh yeah, I'm quick shout out to Midland. I'm wearing their gear today, by the way. Midland Weather Radios, right?
What?
I'm wearing the Midland shirt.
Ah.
Yeah. So if you need a weather radio, it's back there in the corner, by the way. Can't really see it. Midland Weather Radio, good investment for severe weather. You can buy it online for about $50 off Amazon. You can also go into your local hardware store, go to Walmart, Ace. Not sure what else has it. Maybe Tractor Supply. Get usually $40 to $50 depending on where you can get it from. It's Midland Weather Radio WR-120 for future severe events.
Who's Kevin? Kevin is one of our long-standing supporters and members here at MSC.
Heck yeah. We do a pretty good job at remembering the OGs.
Oh yeah. We recall people who were there with us back in 2022 and 2023 just starting this out.
Mm-hmm. Got a chat asking about Chandler. Wow. Last time we had a stream with him, I feel like people are telling him to get off the stream.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I don't know if you want to update, Ryan. Go for it. Chandler's our vice president.
I don't know what I should share publicly and what I shouldn't share publicly. It's nothing bad.
No.
But there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes of Michigan Storm Chasers that I don't want to tell you guys because when it's released, it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to say he's busy working on the stuff that you guys can't see. We have a lot of stuff planned this off season in the fall and winter season here. So, and if you're new here, we do cover and forecast winter weather as well. We don't go live like this very often. If we have like a snow squall event, we'll do that occasionally. But we forecast. We'll do our usual posts, traffic updates, stuff like that. But live streams are much rarer from us here in the winter season. The page is still active though.
We do go live though every once in a while when our chasers want to go and look at the snow and make snow angels on the side of the road. But yeah, throwback to winter. All the time stopping in like the restaurant parking lot and just jumping into a snowbank. Good times. So follow along if you're ready to watch some of our winter content, or subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or do both. You can follow us on all 2/4 of our streaming platforms. Call you guys the MSC diehards. Those who subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, and also follow on X and Twitch. You can also throw in our other social medias, Ryan, like all 8 of them. Curious to see if there's anyone out there that's watching right now that follows on all 8.
On what?
All 8 social media platforms. Whoa. You guys love talking about snow. I'm just saying, I just brought it up because that's what I usually do for our streams. The guy who talks about snow is right below me here. Ryan can raise his hand and take accountability here for all the S-word posts you see on our Facebook page. So, yeah, he's hiding. But he knows. Oh man. Oh, that's a good question. We haven't had that question asked in a while. When is the next Amazon unboxing? Wow. Do we have any gifts that need to be unboxed, Ryan? Are you okay?
No. Yeah, we do. We have some, but I believe I know what they are.
Okay.
And they're for you, actually.
Oh, perfect.
But we have like 2 or 3, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's from the person who commented that was the person who's donating. So they're watching in chat right now. I think Ryan is stuck under his
Interesting.
desk. I think his camera just got bumped.
Yeah, they got bones. I'm going to try and move my camera. It's a webcam. So it just sits on my computer. Not computer, but my desktop. And I always like to lean back, more relaxed. And I hate being so far away from the camera. So if I could like move it out to like, I don't know, be there. I don't know. I gotta do something. Well, Joel, are you good to wrap this up here, or do you want to keep going?
Let's look at velocity, shall we? Actually, I probably have to switch to Grand Rapids radar since this is over in their jurisdiction now. Didn't expect to do that, but here we are. Still, there's a little bit of a downburst kind of going on south of Breckenridge, but ZDR shows those storms are still kind of neutrally buoyant. Further development off to the north and south. We'll keep an eye on it, I guess, behind the scenes. If it goes warned again, we'll be back, but I think we should be good for the rest of the night. Again, instability is starting to dwindle out there. Our instability is our storm fuel, which peaks when the sun is usually the highest in the sky, and that is obviously not right now. So these storms will continue to fizzle out as the night goes on. We are watching a potential derecho. Technically, by definition, it is counted as a derecho after they go out and make that survey or make that call. But long duration wind event tonight across the Midwest. Not likely to make a damaging wind impact in Michigan, but perhaps bring some showers and thunderstorms of the normal variety across the state for tomorrow morning. We'll keep an eye on it though, starting overnight. And if you know anyone out in the Midwest tonight, specifically Minnesota, Iowa, portions of Nebraska, and South Dakota, those damaging winds are impacting those states, and those eventually move into portions of Illinois and perhaps Wisconsin by the morning hours if they don't dissipate sooner. So overall, we should be good overnight tonight for the state of Michigan, especially the further east you are in the state. We are going to continue to watch the cell in Gratiot County as it continues off to the southwest across the 127 region. But as it stands, I believe we are good to hop off. We will have to do our business sponsors real quick. Ryan, do you want to take over for the reading them off?
I can do that.
Perfect. You and your awesome speaking voice.
Yeah, we all know. Yep.
Well,
There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and start with our longest standing sponsor here, StormGuard Roofing and Construction. They're based in Detroit metro area. We have Lifestyle Exteriors based in the Potterville, around Lansing area.
Lansing to Traverse City. You're thinking Cats.
Cats, yes, sorry. Cats is based in Potterville. I'm tired. Cats is based in Potterville, around Lansing as well. Roofing and siding. We have Pro Powder in South Haven for powder coating needs, both residential or commercial. Excuse me. We have Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding in the Thumb, Michigan, Sanilac and St. Clair counties. We have McKay Tree Specialists in Southeast Michigan, south of 69 and east of 127. Kuiper Tree Care, West Michigan Tree Care Partner. FBI Buildings across much of Lower Michigan for bardominium needs. We have On Top Roofing based in Livingston County. We also have Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for commercial roofing or building solution needs across Michigan. We also have Shield Public Adjusters for insurance claim help or adjusting needs. We have Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors based in the West Michigan area. A-Class Construction and Restoration based in Mason County, which is up there in the western part of Lower Michigan. We have Rainbow Restoration in Kent County and surrounding areas. We have Rapid Radios, our communications sponsor for our chasers and field communications. We have Guardian Technologies, our Skycam sponsor, also offering audio, video, and security. They're based in the Burton, which is near Flint area. And last but not least, the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. Appreciate the sponsors. Also our partners who assist you guys in case that you need their services in the event of storm damage, restoration, roofing, siding, or if you just have general needs like powder coating or audio video security. We got you guys covered here at MSC with our trusted partners. So feel free to contact them if you need to, or you can contact us and we can put you in touch with the correct person for your area.
There's a bug in my room.
And with that said, Joel, you can roll and wrap this thing up.
Okay. There's a bug in my room.
You sound like me.
I was like just flying around my face. Also, one more sponsor that is getting added in this week, American Arbor, based out of Three Rivers and St. Joseph County, deals with tree services and arborist needs. So that would be Southwest Michigan. So feel free to contact American Arbor today. The phone number is 269-244-8524. But yeah, we will go ahead and wrap this up. Also, shout out to our moderators here in chat for always helping out with what we do here at MSC, keeping you guys in check, making sure that you guys are all falling in line in chat there. Sometimes it gets a little hectic, so shout out to our mods when it does get hectic, and just for hanging out with everyone in chat, making sure the chat's nice and lively out there, and we're all having a good time as fellow Michiganders. So as you head out, hit that like button. Feel free to share what we do here at MSC via word of mouth with your friends and family. We would love to have all Michiganders connected through one united weather source here at MSC. So feel free to show you care, like and share. And as always, follow us on Facebook for all of our posts, our content posts. And feel free to subscribe on YouTube for all of our video and previous live stream content. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside President Ryan, and we are going to hop off for tonight. We'll catch you next time here at Michigan Storm Chasers for another live stream or video. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.